Hello everyone. This is my fourth go around filming a quick walk around video of my Firebird. The other three versions had some flaws I didn't like, so fourth time the charm, right? So it's a 68 convertible and I originally bought it in 1999. Needed everything. Even the hood was junk. Everything was rotted in this car and destroyed. There isn't one original panel left in this car. The front fenders are off another 68 Firebird. The hood's a fiberglass reproduction 400 hood. The doors are off a 68 Camaro convertible I bought down the South Shore. The quarter panels are those half quarters that are pretty popular. I bought them from a guy in Everett. The trunk lid is a repro. The taillight panel was brand new when they made those things for the first time in 1999, 2000, 2001, that area. The bottom panel is part of the taillight panel. That quarter, that door, that fender, yeah. Nothing's original on this body. Even this cowl panel, I think, is off a different car. Originally, I was setting this thing up with a turbo V6 Buick. So I had all fiberglass pieces for the car. And then I had kids and lost all the time I had to work on it and get rid of it. Went to a friend of mine, and he didn't do much with it. Then I went to my brother, and he built it for my nephew. And he just threw it together with as much stock stuff as he could. He liked the 400 hood, and he had a 350 Chevy in it. Right now, it's got a 455 Olds. This is a 79 subframe. My original subframe was all rotted and bent, so I replaced it. And I wanted something that handled better. And I figured the 79 or 70 and up subframe, they have better, I believe it's caster from the factory. They handle better. They have bigger sway bars. They have a front mount steering box instead of a rear mount steering box. The V6 Buick has the intercooler in the front, and the original frame had that, it's like a triangular piece in the front. This does not. So for me, it just seemed like a better idea to use the 79 subframe. So I did. I made it fit. It was a ton of work, cutting and welding and measuring and Xing and a lot of work. So that's what's in it. It's got 403 Trans Am engine mounts, so the 455 volts bolts right in. So this is a 73 engine. It's 30 over. It's got L23 23 forged pistons. It's got heavily ported C heads. It's probably about 9.5 to 1, I think, compression. Yeah, this one's 9.5 to 1. My 442 is 9.6. 9.5 to 1 compression. Harlan Sharp roller rockers. Lenati Bracket Master Cam, 224, 230, 450. I believe it's 496, 520 lift. It's got stainless steel headers that I got from a friend of mine. He had them on his 442, but they didn't fit very well. His car was a stick shift car, maybe that's why. They fit fine on this chassis, believe it or not. They fall right in. They're, I believe, 1 3/4 or 1 7/8 tube. They're pretty big. What else? Edelbrock Performer intake, 750 Demon carb, factory, higher volume mechanical fuel pump. One thing I did different on this car was I put in a big block Camaro heater core. Any Firebird you'll see will have the heater core outlets are over here behind the valve cover. So will a small block Camaro. And I wanted more room. So I put a big block Camaro heater core cover in and, heater core. So it puts it on the left side. Plenty of room now. What else? Stock Olds distributor with a Petronics igniter and a curve kit. Not a whole lot. I mean, it's a pretty mild motor. Yeah, but in a car this light and small, it makes tons of power and makes for an exhilarating ride. Aluminum radiator from Amazon. It's got the 400 and AC Firebird blockout plates to keep all the cool air going through the radiator. What else? 307 Olds engine mount brackets. I had to modify them because the deck height is different on a big block. Let's see. The original Rally 2 wheels I used to run on this thing were really pitted. So I put on these Hurst Dazzler rims. I bought them off a guy on Craigslist. They were really cheap. He had them on a S10 Blazer of all things. They're only a 15x6, but for the price, I couldn't go wrong. Plus, these are only a 225 60/15 tire. They're not really huge. So that's what I have all around. They're kind of cool looking. I think Rally 2s are better looking, but these are okay. It has a 77 Cadillac Seville 8.5 rear end, bolts right in. The Seville in those days was basically a Nova, and a Nova is basically an F-body. I mean, there were differences, but by and large, a lot of parts are interchangeable. So that's what's in it. I put a 323 posi in it. It's had 241s at one point, had 342s at one point. So I've juggled some gears around, but right now it's 323 posi. And it has rear disc brakes. If you can see in there, it's got disc brake calipers. That's stock on a 77 Seville, at least the one on the junkyard I got the rear end out of. The front brakes are just stock 79 Firebird front brakes. The interior is original. It's the original seats, original, door panels. Everything's original. It's what they call pearl parchment, which is an off-white that has like a pearl, a mother of pearl stuck in it, so it has like a flip-flop kind of look. It's really cool when it's clean and it's light out. Steering wheel's out of a 77 Trans Am. The steering column is a I Did It tilt column. It's got the stock dash cluster. I put some gauges under the dash. It has a 68 GTO Le Mans console and 68 GTO dual gate shifter. In 67 and 68, the GTOs came with the dual gate shifter with an automatic on the floor. 69 was the first year for the Pontiac design shifter. So I kind of liked the way they look. I thought it was cool. And also, this doesn't have a neutral safety switch in the steering column. So whatever shifter I use has to have a neutral safety switch and a reverse light switch on the shifter if possible, and these old dual gates do. So I thought it looked really cool in here. I think the Firebird should have come with it as an option, but they didn't for some reason. So it fits great. The console fits pretty well. The only difference is, I think if you look in the video when I put it in, when I bolted it down, the front of the console actually tilted up a little bit. So I just made a bracket and pulled it down a little. That's about it. The rear seat is the original seat, but I put it on the fold-down back seat body. If you look at my videos, hint, hint, leave a click and a like. Thanks. I used the original seat cover material on a fold-down rear seat that I bought. You can see the handle right there to put the seat down. So, unless I told you, you probably wouldn't know the difference. But yeah, that's the original seat cover on the fold-down seat itself. It is a manual convertible top, which to me is kind of odd, but I guess a lot of Firebirds came that way. It has no motor. You just unlatch it and just throw it. It had originally had helper springs inside these ash panels here. But my brother's friend who I bought the car from took them out to put in these speakers, which, I probably would have done too, but maybe I would have found a way to keep them both. One thing I like about this car is it has what they call the birdie glass. Birdie glass only came on, see the birds are etched into the glass? Those only came on 68 Firebirds that I believe were built in Lordstown, Ohio in a window of like September to December of 1967. And if you look at the data plaque on my car, unless I'm mistaken, yeah, my car was built in Lordstown and it was 11C, which is November, third week of November 1967. So it is a 68 and it has the original glass, which is highly sought after. No one replicates it that I'm aware of. But that's what they call birdie glass. And like I said, that's etched into the glass. It's not a decal. You can't peel it off. It's etched in. So that's it. Just a quick walk around to show what the car's all about. One other thing is it has a 2.5-inch Thrush dual exhaust system. It's just one of those kits you buy for Camaro Firebird to make it fit. It fits okay. I had to modify the tailpipes to put on the splitters, which to me any old Pontiac has to have. It's like the hood tack. They don't look right without them to me. Just my taste. Originally this exhaust system had a over the axle muffler only, which was a 350 Chevy. Wasn't bad, but with the big block in it, it was pretty loud. So I put two mufflers in front of the axle. So now it has the two in front and then the one over the axle. So it's nice and quiet, or comparatively quiet. I like it anyway. So the only other thing I can note is the transmission is a Turbo 400 from a 71 Olds 442. I bought that from a guy in Florida. It was built by JW, and he never ran it. This guy actually bought the car altogether and parted it out and built a pro mod out of it with an LS motor. So it's a Turbo 400 from a 71 442. It has a JW shift kit and a JW 2400 stall converter. Shifts awesome, nice and hard, and doesn't have crazy stall, so it's not slippery and sloshy. Overall, it's a really fun to drive package. It handles good, stops well. It's really fast. I mean, it doesn't weigh much. So with the big block Olds, it's got tons of bottom end. That's it. Just wanted to do a quick video. It's filthy dirty. I apologize, but it's been sitting here in my shop all winter and I haven't felt like washing it. So that's it. Just wanted to do a quick update on it and show you where it stands. Hope you guys are all healthy and doing well. See you later.